Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to the class of 10th English Medium. Your subject today is Social Science, and we are going to discuss chapter number 18, that is Price Rise and Consumer Awareness. Now, my dear friends, regarding this chapter, I have already uploaded two tutorials. I divided this chapter into three parts, and according to that, I have already uploaded two parts. The first part consisted of the content regarding reasons of price rise, that was monetary supply and growth of population and exports and raw material prices, etc., etc. And then the reasons why the prices should be controlled and steps taken to control price rise. That was the first part of the first tutorial for this chapter. The second tutorial of this chapter consisted of the consumer awareness portion, in which what do we actually mean by consumer awareness, how consumers are exploited, the reasons why they are exploited, and what steps have been taken by the world or various laws framed by the world government at different points of time in history for the sake of consumer awareness. Then also we talked about legislations concerning consumer rights, that is what or who are the consumers, the rights, the six rights of consumers, and the various duties of consumers. Those were the topics covered in the previous two tutorials. Now today we are going to start with the last part of this chapter, that is measure of consumer protection. I told you guys in my previous tutorial, the second tutorial of this chapter, that we will be discussing steps taken by our government, the Indian government, for the sake of the consumer protection. We are starting with the first point, that is three-tier tribunal courts or the three-tier consumer protection. Government has set up consumer courts for the purpose of consumer protection. Uh, we can see that under National Consumer Protection Act of 1986, I have already highlighted the important words and the points here, so you guys can do the same thing in your textbooks. Keep your textbooks with you and highlight these same words and points in your textbook. It will be good for reading and it will be a good reference when you are writing down the answers. So you must include these highlighted words and sentences in your answers. So National Consumer Protection Act of 1986, Central Consumer Protection Council was set up under that act, the Central Consumer Protection Council. That was at the national level. Similarly, state consumer forums were set up at the state levels, and even some forums were set up at the district level. We will start with the district forums. What these forums do? These forums help consumers in solving their complaints. So there is one court in every district usually, which is very important court. It studies the complaints of consumers and give compensation to the consumers against their losses. Now, approximately in India today, 571 consumer district forums are working, and in these courts, usually claim compensation of up to 20 lakhs or 20 lakh rupees, up to maximum 20 lakh rupees claim is included. That means if I have a complaint in which I am claiming up to 20 lakh rupees, I can go to the district forum. Okay, but after filing complaint and getting the results, if I am not satisfied with the decision of the district forum, I can move forward towards the state forum or the state commission within the next 30 days of getting the results. But for that purpose, I have to pay a certain fees of either the 50% amount of the compensation which I am claiming, or rupees 25,000, whichever is less. So for example, if I am claiming for 1 lakh rupees, so 50% is 50,000, but 25,000 is less than that. So I have to deposit a 25,000 rupees amount. But if I am only claiming for 10,000 rupees, so 50% is 5,000 rupees. So I just need to deposit 5,000 rupees. Why this deposit? Because I am not satisfied with the results and I am going forward towards a higher authority. If I get the same result and if again I am defeated at the higher authority, that deposit is confiscated. So this deposit is a kind of a security or to discourage people from going towards the higher authority. Also it is to discourage people from misusing the power of the law. Means one person is a culprit and he is getting his verdict from the court, but he still wants to escape from his punishment, so he goes to the higher authority. So he has to pay a deposit. That means if he is proven culprit again, then his money will be confiscated. So that way they discourage these culprit people from going towards the higher authority. The higher authority, the state commission, there are approximately 35 state forums working in India. The reason is that state and union territories both are included in this 35. In these courts, presently claims of compensation from 20 lakh to 1 crore are filed. That means if my compensation claim is for more than 20 lakh rupees, say 50 lakh rupees, so I don't go to district forum, I directly go to the state forum because it's a big amount. So after paying the fees, I can claim for compensation in the state commission. The amount should be between 20 lakh to 1 crore. Now, if the petitioner is not satisfied with the decision of state commission, we can again go to a higher authority, that is the national commission, within 30 days. But again, we have to pay either the 50% of the compensation we are claiming or rupees 35,000, whichever is less. The highest authority in this three-tier consumer tribunal is the National Commission or the National Forum, where claims above rupees 1 crore are admitted. That means you are a big company or you are against a very big company in which you are claiming for 4, 5, 10, 15 crore rupees. You directly go to the National Commission because it's a big thing. So in the National Commission, there is a bench of 5 members who decide, give the verdict on the complaints. It is a rule for State Commission and National Commission to give their verdicts, the results or punishments before 90 days. 90 days is the maximum limit. Now again, if you are not satisfied with the National Commission, then you only have one option, that is the Supreme Court. But you can file in the Supreme Court within the 30 days, but it is necessary to again deposit 50% of the claim amount or 50,000 rupees, whichever is less. So as you go higher, your deposit amount keeps on increasing. Now the person who does not comply by any order given by any of the court, he can be given an extra punishment for not complying with the orders given. People below poverty line, senior citizen and handicaps does not need to pay fee, and they are also given free services under district free legal service guidance of legal aid and advocate. Okay, so those who are under poverty line, they are senior citizen or are handicapped, does not need to pay the court fees. They get legal aid and they also get an advocate free of cost provided by the government. So that's A, the first one, three-tier consumer tribunals. Next is consumer society. Now I think in the duties of consumers we already discussed about the consumer societies, but let's discuss it again. Government recognized consumer societies have been established at taluka, district, state or national levels. These consumer societies are non-political. They are not interested in politics or parties. They are only for the purpose of consumers. They are non-commercial. They don't do any kind of business. They are voluntary organizations. That means they don't employ people. People voluntarily go to these societies to provide free services to people, and they are set up by the consumers themselves. The objective is to bring awareness about consumer rights and encourage them, to help government to frame policies or to protect from time to time. It keeps on reviewing provisions for consumer rights and acts. That means जो कंज्यूमर सोसाइटी होती है वो जो कंज्यूमर के राइट्स होते हैं, कंज्यूमर रिलेटेड जो लॉज होते हैं, उसको टाइम टू टाइम रिव्यू करते रहते हैं. उसमें अगर कोई चेंजेस है तो उसको गवर्नमेंट को सजेस्ट करते हैं कि भाई इसको चेंज करो, दिस इज अगेंस्ट कंज्यूमर, इसको चेंज करो, इससे कंज्यूमर को फायदा होगा. like that. So these consumer societies provide consumer education through consumer awareness programs. इससे क्या होता है कि कंज्यूमर्स को गाइडेंस मिलता है, जैसे राइट्स ऑफ कंज्यूमर्स, ड्यूटीज ऑफ कंज्यूमर, कंज्यूमर का जो एक्सप्लॉयटेशन कैसे होता है और उससे कैसे बचे. All of this information is provided by consumer societies to the consumers. These consumer societies or organizations also publish monthly, bi-monthly magazines or periodicals. Magazine periodical publish करते थे. For example, ग्राहक सुरक्षा, Insight, the consumer, Grahak Munch, etc. And they try to bring awareness. They are helpful in elimination of complaints of consumers. So what happens that when consumers have a lot of complaints and no one is listening to them, they can go to these consumer societies and ask for help. They get information, they get help, and they can get heard at the government level also with the help of these consumer societies. Public distribution scheme, I think there is not much left to be explained in this topic. The public distribution scheme, basically it means that the government provides good quality food at a very low rates towards the poor people or middle class people through FPS. So poor people get free food or very reasonable priced food at very low rates, which is also good quality. That means when the prices have risen in the market, at that time these people don't get affected by it because they are getting low priced goods of good quality. So this helps in controlling the prices, because when people are buying from low price goods, those higher price goods will not be bought. So those uh, business people will have to lower their prices of goods so that they can sell it in the market. So public distribution system also helps in controlling the prices of goods, and it also controls the corrupt practices of the traders. Now the last point in this, which is also one of the most important points and which might interest you guys, the certifying weights and measures and purity of goods. For health and safety of consumers, government has set up many legal institutes which perform the task of checking the quality, quantity and purity of produced goods and certifies them. Means काफ़ी सारी टाइम कोई भी प्रोडक्ट तुम लोग बाय करो, उसके ऊपर तुम लोग ने सर्टेन टाइप का मार्क देखा होगा, और ये मार्क वाले प्रोडक्ट्स का ऑलवेज प्राइस रेगुलर प्रोडक्ट से ज़्यादा होता है. चलो एक हेलमेट का एग्जांपल ले लेते हैं. हेलमेट दो टाइप की आती है, एक आती है आईएसआई मार्क वाली और एक आती है आईएसआई मार्क बिना की. बिना आईएसआई मार्क वाली हेलमेट 300-400 में मिल जाती है, जबकि आईएसआई मार्क वाली हेलमेट लेने जाओ तो मिनिमम 800, 900, 1000, 2000 तक की प्राइस जाती है. रीजन भी, ये जो मार्क होता है वो क्वालिटी को वेरीफाई करता है. मतलब अगर वो कोई गुड्स पे ऐसा क्वालिटी वाला मार्क्स दिखता है तो हम विदाउट एनी वरीज, विदाउट एनी डाउट्स वी कैन परचेज दिस प्रोडक्ट, considering that it must be of a good quality. And because this product is considered to be of a good quality, its price is usually high. So वो जो मार्क होता है वो मैं या आप लोग नहीं दे सकते. Those marks are provided by the institutions recognized by the government. So they are purely government recognized institutions which are authorized to give such marks. So we will discuss about those marks, the types of marks given on the types of goods, क्योंकि अलग अलग टाइप के गुड्स के लिए अलग अलग टाइप के मार्क्स होते हैं. सब गुड्स पे आईएसआई मार्क नहीं लगता है. फूड प्रोडक्ट पे अगर तुम लोग बालाजी वेफर्स लो तो उसके पीछे एफसाई ऐसा करके मार्क लगा होगा. दिस मार्क शोज दैट इट्स दिस फूड प्रोडक्ट इज ऑफ अ गुड क्वालिटी. So those different kind of marks are applied on different kind of products. We will study that here कि कौन से प्रोडक्ट पे कौन से टाइप का मार्क लगता है. द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एस्टैब्लिश्ड Indian Standard of Institute or just Indian Standard Institute ISI in 1947 to regulate quality. Since 1986 उसका नाम थोड़ा चेंज हो गया है, BIS कर दिया है, पर ISI BIS दोनों मार्क यूज होते हैं, which is Bureau of Indian Standard. The goods that meet the described standard and quality are allowed to use ISI mark. मतलब उन लोग ने कैरेक्टरिस्टिक डिसाइड की कि जो गुड्स ये लेवल का क्वालिटी बताते हैं उसको हम ये मार्क देंगे. तो मतलब आईएसआई मार्क वाले गुड्स की मिनिमम एक लेवल की क्वालिटी होती ही है. दैट्स व्हाई दीज मार्क्स आर इम्पोर्टेंट. For agricultural product, And for animal products they are given the egg mark, AG, agricultural mark. We call it egg mark. It is implemented under Agricultural Product on Act 1937. This scheme is run by the Directorate of Marketing and Intelligence, that is DMI. मतलब ये मार्क का जो मैनेजमेंट है वो DMI करता है, which is in the part of the Ministry of Agriculture. This grants permission to the traders to use egg mark. If the consumer has any doubts regarding the quality of the mark, they can contact BIS, because right now in India BIS is the maximum authority for giving these quality marks. Gold ornaments are given BIS marks with purity numbers, that is example 916. You can see a bangle here. Okay, in the inner side of the bangle you can see certain marks are there. So these marks show the quality marks, and they have certain symbols which means different things. You need to study in deep if you want to understand the meaning of these symbols. Gold number 916 depicts 22 karat gold. Hallmark logo is given by central government, and J means jewelry manufactured in 2008. So different alphabet means different years. The FPO, the food product order mark, is used for jam, fruit juice, fruits or vegetables packed in a box or a tin or something like that. BIS allows textile, chemical, insecticides, products of rubber, cement, electronic gadgets to use ISI marks. Means in this kind of products ISI marks are seen. Textiles, that is clothes, then chemicals, then pesticides, then rubber products, cement, electronic gadgets, all of they use ISI marks. Wool mark is used for woolen products. Meat processing optimizer, that is MPO mark, is used for non-veg products. HACCP is used for processed foods, and eco mark or eco mark is used for soap, detergent, paper, oil, packing material, color chemicals, powder coating, battery, cosmetics, etc. Goods use the eco mark. Okay, this is the eco mark here. Eco logo is given, although we haven't seen much of this eco mark, but still it is used. Then these all were used at the national level, at India level. Then there are two certain organizations giving quality marks at international level. First one is ISO, and ISO is something which we have heard of a lot of places. That is International Standardization Organization, and it was established in 1947. It gives certification of standard according to international standards. That means if a product has been marked as ISO, it follows international level of quality. So usually we see these kind of things in export goods. The goods which are exported to other countries usually has this ISO marking, because they need that kind of international level of quality. So ISO uses various series for different products, and at India level the ISO is handled by the ISI, that is BIS. So ISO marks at India level are handled by the BIS, Bureau of Indian Standards. Then ISO is usually given for non-living products, while Codex Alimentarius Commission, that is CAC, is given for edible products, food products. Okay, Codex Alimentarius Commission, that is CAC, it is for edible products, food products. In 1963, Food and Agricultural Organization and World Health Organization established jointly this CAC organization or mark. Its headquarters is located in Rome, capital of Italy. Its main function is to develop food standard, guidelines and code of practice for production and international trade in food products like milk products, non-veg. This mark is used to show the quality. The job work of contacting ISO is done by BIS, while the Director General of Health Services contacts the CAC. Means BIS handles ISO in India, while our Director General of Health Services controls the CAC in India. So these were the list of various quality marks used by Indian and foreign institutions. So whenever we are going to buy some products or any product, when you are buying, just try to look at its quality mark, and then try to see if in this list of quality marks that mark is there or not. if there is some new mark on the product, just try to Google it and see that what kind of mark or what purpose that mark is used. It will give you a lot of knowledge, and you will get some interest in understanding these quality marks. And sometimes if you Google it and you can't find it, there is a possibility that that's a fake mark. So you can be protected from inferior quality goods if you check this quality marks on your products. Let's move forward towards who can file a complaint and where to file a complaint. First of all, consumer himself, the person who has been cheated, can file the complaint himself. The complaint can be filed by the central government, the state government, or the union territories themselves against the trader. A consumer society can file a complaint. The representative of the consumer can file the complaint. Any member of the family of person who has purchased a product, that means if I have purchased a product and I have been cheated, then one of my family members can also go and lodge a complaint against the trader and against the loss I have faced. If the producer or trader doesn't find solution or doesn't show readiness to find a solution for the complaint, at that case we can file a case in the local district forum, state commission, or national commission. We have already discussed these tribunals in advance, the district forum, state forum, and national forum. We have already discussed these. They may complain in supply court, office of metrology and consumer court, consumer society, or collector office. So in these places we can also file a complaint. So it is not compulsory to file it in district, state, or national forums. There are other places where we can complain too. We can file a complaint if the item or service is faulty or deficient, or is it not accordance with the agreement or prevalent law. मतलब कि अगर कोई आइटम है या सर्विस है वो फॉल्टी है, वो कम दी गई है या अकॉर्डिंग टू लॉ या एग्रीमेंट के हिसाब से नहीं है, then we can file the complaint. We can file a case against deficiency in quality, the type and purity of goods, less weight, etc. For these reasons we can file a complaint. Now this is very important. How to file complaint? A victim may file a complaint in simple and clear language. We can type it in a computer, we can write it using hand, or we can even email it to respective emails of the forums or collector office or the society. If we need to go through a lawyer, if we are not doing it ourselves but we are hiring a lawyer, then we also need to do an affidavit and we need to write our name, our address, and contact number. We need to write a detailed description of the complaint, and we also need to give a reason for complaining clearly. Means we must give the description of what has actually happened, and we also need to give a reason why we are complaining. We also need to give a copy of the evidence or documents related to the accusation, and we should never give the original evidence. We should always give them a Xerox copy. Original evidence should always be kept with us. If original evidences have been destroyed, our complaint will be invalidated. So always give a copy or a Xerox of the supportive evidence or documents and keep originals with you only. We should also enclose bill, the receipt of payment. If payment is done by check, then the counterfoil of the check, etc. should be provided as a supportive evidence that we have bought the goods, we have done the transaction. We should also give the copy of the conditions mentioned by seller if we have any. For example, seller gave us certain perks and advantages, but later on he refused to give them to us. So we should give a list of such perks and advantages as provided by the seller to us. We should also give them a copy of advertisement. Seller claimed something in advertisement which he is not providing now. For example, on Bonvita milk powder, they are giving something free, and now seller is refusing to give it for free. So we can lodge a complaint with the advertisement that see in advertisement they are giving that offer, and right now they are not giving to us. So that's just an example. The pamphlet, the prospectus, complaint may be lodged in any consumer forum by paying proper fees and writing down the compensation claim. We can lodge a complaint within 2 years of the reason of complaint. That means if we have cheated today, we can complain anytime between today and 2 years. We have a lot of time to complain, but we must complain. Any consumer may call on Gujarat State Helpline number, which is given here, or if we want, we can also call on national level helpline number, which is also given here for consumer related complaint as well as for special information about law and guidance. So with this, our chapter number 18 ends here. What we studied today are basically four to five main topics, starting with three-tier consumer courts in which district forum, state forum, national forums were there. When we studied about the consumer society public distribution scheme and these logos and marks, quality marks we can call them, ISI, BIS, egg mark, hallmark, FPO, woolmark, HSCCP, etc. And then we studied about two international marks, that is ISO and CAC. Who can file a complaint, where we can file a complaint, and how to file a complaint when we are cheated. So these are all the topics related with the consumer awareness and the price rise. This was a lengthy chapter and I hope you guys got it properly. I would like you guys to solve this exercise in your notebooks, so that way you can get a practice on answering the questions related with exercise. I will be giving you guys some worksheets afterwards, so watch this tutorial very carefully and I hope you guys like this. If you have any comments, you can put it down in the comment section below, and if you have any queries, you can contact me on my cell number, and I will see you next time. Thank you.